YouTube, welcome back. We are on week 2 of the bulk. We're sipping on, as always, BCAAs, creatine, 2 full scoops of creatine for me. Little recap on week 1. We started out at 187.5 pounds. I was fluctuating around there for a long time. We got up to 190.5 and then back down to 189.5 or something like that. Fluctuating. So probably going to fluctuate around 190 for the beginning of the bulk. We're keeping those macros in a surplus of 200 calories. And I think that's a good spot for me right now. We'll go another week of that. 2 days ago, me and my girl, we went and saw Fantastic Four. And, I was counting that popcorn in my macros. And then I still had more to eat after. Probably had like 100 more carbs to eat after that popcorn. We split a medium or a regular sized popcorn. After the movie, we decided to go get a cheat meal. The cheat meal was really big. One thing that I'm a little bit worried about is the cheat meals on a bulk, because you're already in a surplus. And then if you have like a massive cheat meal, which I did, I think I just need to be more careful with those cheat meals. I can cheat, but don't go nuts with it. Other than the cheat meal, the whole week went smooth. And I like where we're at. I feel strong. I have more energy. Yesterday at work, I did take a little nap during one of my breaks just because it was so hot. And I'm the type of person, if I need to fall asleep, I can't. Sometimes I just can't stay awake. I was literally like that in the movie. Like I wanted to stay awake for that whole movie, but I just can't. I'm like tapping my feet, like just moving around, trying to fidget so I stay awake. And then eventually I just have to give in because it's like, I just can't stay awake. I don't know what that is, but other than yesterday at work, I've had more energy. I hadn't been falling asleep. I had literally noticed that I wasn't falling asleep. And I was like, that has something to do for sure with the calories. My body's getting fed enough. So definitely I was in a deficit for the longest time. Energy levels probably weren't anywhere near where they were supposed to be. But the longer you live in like a certain state of being, the more normal it becomes to you. Probably what was going on was that level of energy for me was my normal. And I was just like, this is just how it is, and not even consciously thinking of it. You're just like, this is how things are, You fall asleep at work. You can't stay awake sometimes. And then you start consuming a little bit more calories and you're like, damn, you start thriving in this other state of being. And you're like, you have some more energy, you're more strong. So I'm really enjoying that part of this whole process. But, those things are kind of obvious when you're cutting and bulking. Cutting, you're going to have less energy. It's just something that you don't think about, or at least I wasn't thinking about. And it just became a normal, and energy levels probably weren't there. But this is a nice change of pace. We're going to get an arm day in. After this, I'm going to go hit sprints. We're going to keep those sprints up even though we're bulking. The sprints aren't cardio. It's just to get out there, get my feet under me, keep my legs moving, be an athlete. That's what we're trying to continue to be. Anyways, let's get into this workout. This will be another week-long vlog. We're going to keep that head down. We're going to keep grinding. Let's get it. All right, fellers, we stretched it out, got some movement in, and then we're gonna do these sprints. I'm gonna do 25 yards, 5 yards in the beginning. It's gonna be kind of like a running, I guess you could call it a, what would you call it? I don't know, just gradually getting into a sprint. Sure, there's a name for it, but I'm not a speed training coach. I'm just out here getting movement. So that's what we're gonna do today. My phone's super hot already. So we're just gonna record the sprints. I don't know what it is about my right leg. When I squat too, it gives me issues. When I squat with my right leg, I don't even know how to explain the pain. It's a weird pain, but it feels super tight, and I can feel it even when I'm stretching for these sprints. So I'm hoping my right leg doesn't give me any issues, but we're gonna get out there and we're gonna start moving. So all right, let's get cracking on these sprints. Just because we're not feeling the best doesn't mean we don't do them. You know, unless you are absolutely in so much pain and you feel like you know you're gonna pull something, definitely don't do it in that case. But I don't feel the best right now, but you're not gonna feel the best every time you do this. You just push through, and maybe the next time you'll feel better. So let's get it. We got 5 25-yard sprints. Guys, this is a little concoction I just made. I used the rest of that salted caramel protein. This is actually really good. I put some cinnamon in it, a little one stevia packet. That was like 3/4 of a scoop of caramel, and then some instant coffee. So I woke up this morning and with all the intentions to work out, but I was like, my triceps are extremely sore. I crushed legs last night. I didn't get a ton of sleep last night, but I still would have worked out even though. I decided I'm not going to work out. I'm actually going to go on a ruck, so I got to hurry up. But it's always the best when you hit legs and they're really feeling it the next morning and you know you crushed them. You don't have to hit them for a few days. It's always the best feeling. But don't be afraid to give your body a little break. You might be wondering why I still am doing my cardio on a bulk. We do it to stay healthy. We do it for heart health. It's just overall healthier to continue to do cardio. And it's also good for the gym to have good cardio. So like last night I hit legs really hard because my cardio is decent. You know, I'm not saying I'm like a freaking marathon runner, but I'm keeping that cardio up. And it's going to help in the gym, you know, be able to last through these leg days, to be able to be more intense during my other workouts. That's why I continue to do cardio. Weight's looking good. The weight is looking good. It looks like we're going to be sitting around 190 to 189, somewhere in there. I think it was 190.5 or whatever it was this morning, like somewhere in there. That's what it's been for the past 3-4 days. So that's good. We got past the little initial jump of, I guess it was 187 to 190.5-ish, you could say, to 189, a couple pounds, 2 to 3 pounds of initial water weight on this bulk. And I think with these macros that I have set now, if I didn't move them, which I'm not going to for this whole week, it's Tuesday right now, we're going to see if it stays around 190. And then from there, I'll bump it up. We're 200 calories above maintenance. So it's looking good. I feel really strong. I already feel like I'm bigger. My pumps in the gym are going way crazier. I just feel bigger, which is always fun. So I'm actually going to take this coffee and walk around my neighborhood for a couple of miles with a weighted vest on. So we'll get to those questions probably later in the week. I'm going to look at them. I got a bunch of questions and I'm going to pick my favorite. Probably do it after work when I'm a little bit more, I have my freaking cognitive abilities because I just woke up and I'm freaking tired. So we're going to get that walk in and then I'll probably take you guys through prepping breakfast and then how I prep my lunch. One day I'm going to try to walk her around the neighborhood. We need to get her a leash. You need to get her a leash, take her around the neighborhood. When you take her into the car, immediately cries. Just cries so hard. She does not want to go anywhere. She's scared of the back door, scared of the front door, which is good. You know, you don't want her bolting, but I'd like to see her on a walk. Like maybe me and my girl will go on a little leisure walk and pay attention to her the whole time because on these rucks, I'm like speed walking. If she started crying and freaking out, it wouldn't be good. So anyways, got the little daily stoic in. This is a little bit of a slow morning. Woke up at 5. No, I woke up at 4:30. I got a bunch of editing done. I threw an Instagram post up, and then now we're doing this. So, sipping a coffee, nothing better. I'm feeling the high right now, the coffee. God, I don't know how, like if you don't like coffee, what's wrong with you, man? Coffee is the best. Too much yapping. I better get cracking on this ruck because I'm not going to give myself time to prep later. So, all right, let's hit the street. All right, scratch that again. I looked at the time. We have no time for a ruck. My rucks usually take 45 minutes. I either go on my ruck and have no time to prep at all, or I don't go on my ruck and I have a solid amount of time to prep. That's what we're going to do. I'm just going to prep. I'm going to cook this ground turkey. I got flank steak in there that I'm going to smoke tonight when I get home and then reverse sear it. That's going to be fire. I got to prioritize what I got to prioritize. It's all good. Essentials. Mm. What a freak, man. What a freak. All right, guys. So the Ninja Creamy is an essential. When I make these, it makes my day that much better because I think about these frequently throughout the day. The fact that I have ice cream when I get home, especially when it's 115 degrees out, makes my day so much better. This pistachio, highly recommend. I literally just cleared Walmart out. These pistachios, zero sugars. If you like pistachio ice cream, these are so good. You have to try this. If you just have vanilla protein, even better. Vanilla ice cream protein. Like I said in my last video, I've been eating too much protein. People have a hard time hitting their protein. I hit my protein way too easily. So I have to half scoop. We'll do a half scoop in each. And then these Jell-O packets are like a burst of flavor. Like they're so potent. So 7 grams is 1 serving, which is 25 calories. And the calories are coming from literally 5 carbs. We'll do 2 servings, and that'll be 14 grams. This is the lazy way to do it. And what I like to do, fill this up with water because I like it to be up to like close to the fill line. When I'm doing 2, you just get it near the fill line because that's a ton of ice cream. But close it up again. Clean it out. Perfect. And then we just go with a stevia packet. 0 calorie sweetener. Bang. That's it. This is a good option for anybody who's bulking. Really, I could be using honey. But if you're cutting, stevia is your best friend. I need one of those frothers. Mine broke. That pistachio flavor is unreal. If I'm going to recommend anything, like Jell-O, if you want to sponsor me, I'm going to be ripping through these. So if you guys want to just send me a bunch of different flavors, 0 sugar, I don't know why you would, but you can only dream, right? All right, let's run it back. I'm also going to start crushing ground beef because it could be ground turkey, it could be ground beef. This is 93.7. It's the same thing, fat-wise. You guys know who've been watching. I have trouble hitting my fats too. Salt, onion powder, pepper, chili powder, minced garlic. Probably just put the minced garlic in when you're cooking, because you don't want that stuff to cook too fast because it burns, but I don't know. We'll see how it works. Shoot, I forgot the paprika. Not too much flavor in paprika. It just gives it a nice color. This is more of a rare morning where I'm prepping my meat, but this does happen. You know, I've grilled in the morning, smoked meat in the morning. You gotta do what you gotta do when you're trying to hit your protein, you're trying to hit your calories. My girl's at the gym right now. She grinding. So I'm gonna cook her up some protein pancakes. Kodiak Power Cakes Blueberry. That's my favorite one. These are a go-to in the morning. I'm cooking these almost every morning. You want to put the liquidy stuff at the bottom. So the eggs at the bottom of this thing and the unsweetened milk at the bottom. So when you pour your mix in, it doesn't stick. So these are 30 carbs each, 14 grams of protein each, just 2 grams of fat. Plus the egg, another 5 grams of fat. So that's 7 grams of fat total. We're gonna get this in the pan. We're just gonna lay it down in there flat, and we're gonna let it cook like that so it sears and chars the bottom. You can't chop it up immediately. You gotta wait till it cooks a little bit, gets a sear on the bottom, and then you can chop it up in here. I guys should get my own cooking channel, man. That's what happens, man. You want bigger muscles, all of a sudden you turn into a damn chef. Years go by. You've been cooking for years. I mean, this is obviously like gym bro foods, but I'm not gonna claim that I'm a seasoned chef, but I'm definitely pretty good for a gym bro, you know? S tier gym bro chef. I'll give myself that. Maybe throw the lid on too so it cooks internally, and then just let that sit for a bit. We're gonna get these pancakes on here. I gotta clean as I go. It's always the worst when you're eating and you just look over and you know you have a fat mess to clean. I swear people sometimes comment just to get you to respond. I had somebody tell me one time, why don't you just use your dishwasher, bro? What are you talking about, dude? Is that really like a concern? Use your dishwasher, bro. Actually, nah, I'm good, thanks. I'll actually use that when I want to use it. Thanks, though. It's interesting that you're concerned about that one. What are you worried about? Why are you so worried about stuff, man? For my rice, I always just eyeball it, and you want that water to be maybe like an inch to an inch and a half higher than the rice. Turn it up on high, let it get to a boil. Once it boils, lower it to low and let it simmer for about 10 minutes it should take, and then you'll have your rice. And then we'll have our ground beef or ground turkey, and then we got our lunch. So that's what a morning with me looks like, just rushing around all over the place. Usually I'm hitting the gym, and then, you know, instead of meal prepping, I'll be hitting the gym, come home, and I get home around 6:30, so I have from 6:30 to 7:30 to prep my lunch, eat breakfast, get ready for work, you know, put my clothes on, pack the lunch. It's usually just bang, 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 bang until I have to get to work. And then the unfortunate part about work as well is they're constantly rushing you throughout the day. So, you know, I try to give myself more time in the mornings. It usually doesn't happen. I need to get better at it, but I need to give myself more time in the morning, so I don't have to just constantly rush through my entire morning. I can read my daily stoic in peace. I can chill a little bit, hang out with the cat, hang out with my girl, and just have some calm time, you know, leisurely get through my morning rather than rushing through the whole morning, and then you get to work and then they give you like an enormous amount of work and rush you through that. Work is hit or miss. You know, some days are worse than others, but you know, sometimes I'm rushing all morning and then I get to work and then they're like, oh, it's terrible today. Yeah, like a crazy amount of work to do in a short amount of time, and they're rushing you, and it's not a good experience. So I need to make sure outside work time is not so rushed. I need to be better at that because I will crash and burn. I've been there, you know. I've been to the point where it's just like life is just like go, 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 go. I need time to be able to just slow down. So what's up, baby? You ready for breakfast? Got you some blueberry pancakes. Want to say hi to the camera? Got a little rain last night. Lightning was nuts. Me and my girl were sitting on the back porch. It doesn't rain here often, so when it rains, you got to go sit out there like it's something you've never seen before. This is a tank from DFYNE. Get the logo on the back. This is one of my favorite shirts. I love the big letters on the back. And then I love the cutoffs that go like just over the shoulder, because it kind of, the cutoffs that go right over the shoulder, because it kind of makes your V-taper pop a little bit more. This is a clean look. I like this fit right here. We got the white compressions as well, and they got the print right here. And then the gray shorts. This is from the Unbound drop. We got the hat matching. Clean! I'm not gonna lie to you, the last week has been just like deleted in my brain. I don't know what's going on with me. I've had like brain fog for the last few days. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I've noticed about like when life gets crazy and you know you're just kind of all over the place. I just feel like I'm a little bit all over the place right now. The one thing that keeps you together is your daily habits, what you do daily. So you have things set in place that you do no matter how you're feeling. You get those things done, you know, especially when life is getting crazy. What do you do daily that, you know, keeps you in line? And then eventually that's how life is. There's ups and downs. Eventually you'll come back to just base level, and you will have kept that discipline the whole way through because you have those daily habits set in place. We're also sipping on those BCAAs, 2 scoops of that. That's an intra workout. Drink that during the workout. The electrolytes were sugar-free, liquid IV. I have more electrolytes from MyProtein coming on the way, but I ran out of that, and then we got the creatine. What's up, baby? One day I'll clean up my garage. Eventually this will be an Airbnb. I'll probably Airbnb it before I ever even clean it. So like I don't really have anywhere to put all that stuff. That's the plan with this house. We're gonna Airbnb this. I bought it March 2022. When I was buying it, I made sure it would be a perfect rental. You know, it's deep in a neighborhood. It's got freeway access right up the road. It's got a lot of options for food and groceries around here. Really good options for that kind of thing. It's low maintenance. You would just need landscapers, which I would hire. You know, that's the plan. Still figuring out if I want a long-term renter in here or if I just want to Airbnb it and try to make a big profit off of it. Either way, this thing's going to profit. Take things step by step, because I do want to make this thing full-time for me, because you know, with the amount of time that I have and the amount of output I'm doing, even just with not having a lot of time at all, I could triple down on this if it were to be my sole thing. And I really think we could make a lot more progress if that was the case. And so just step by step, different avenues of revenue coming in. This will be a big one. We just monetized the YouTube. You know, we don't got to get into all the financials, but we're in a good spot. It's just step by step, and it's going to take time. I got to be patient. Yeah, this bulk is going to go crazy. I am so much stronger already. I had single arm lat pulls in the mix, but my lats are torched right now. So we're gonna finish it on seated rows. This humidity is not helping. It's nice though. Today's gonna be nice at work. It's about to be like 95 at work today, tops. It's crazy, man. I feel like I was just saying it's about to get real hot out. We only got like a month left of this heat for Arizona. September is like where the mornings start getting real nice out. There's still days when it's 100 plus, but you know, September starts getting real nice in the mornings. You have the doors and windows open. The vibe is just different. My rucks are gonna be nicer. Oh my God, I can't wait for that. Take some hot coffee on my ruck. It'll be like 65 degrees out. I cannot wait. One more month. Then when October hits, you know, we start getting midway through October, that's when the weather is just beautiful here. Full bulk mode for me this winter. Big jackets, covering up, just getting huge, consuming hella calories. Another thing about being on the bulk in the winter is it makes the holidays that much better. I don't have to watch what I'm eating during the holidays. I just straight to the gains, baby. That's it. That's good enough for me, man. That's a good pump. Perfect timing. We got enough time for breakfast. I already pre-packed my lunch last night. I think we did 4 or 5 exercises. I believe it was 4. Higher rep. We got some high weight in there as well in the bent over rows. That's what I like to do. I like to try to raise the weight higher than what I would normally would do on a cut. Continually progressive overload over weeks with that high weight. My last set of each movement, I usually like to just do like an AMRAP of a lighter weight, keep the intensity high. Kind of a mix of both right now. That's the vibe I'm on. You know, if you get my bulking or cutting programs, they're set to where like when you're cutting, you're doing anywhere from 10 to 15 reps when you're cutting on my program. And then you're doing cardio like 3 times a week. And then the bulking, it's just lowered reps, higher weight, and no cardio. There's plenty of different ways to do it. You know, if you've been in this game long enough, you know that you switch up the way that you work out. So it'd be impossible for me to like have exactly what I'm doing currently in each of my programs, but those programs do work. They were what I did at the times of bulking and cutting previously. But right now, I got different plans. I got my own way of doing it currently, and it's just little minor tweaks here and there anyways. We are continuing to do cardio on the bulk, just light cardio, keep the heart rate going, keep the cardio high so you can endure the leg sessions better. Just stuff I'm implementing here and there that I've learned off of other people off of YouTube pretty much. You know, you hear something, you go, that's a good idea, you implement it, you try it. If you don't like it, scrap it. That's the way it works, man. Post-workout fuel going straight to the back. All right, guys, so we got 2 ounces of ground beef right here. Actually, this is ground turkey, 93.7 ground turkey. We got this for a spray here, 0 calorie avocado spray. People say, you know, you spray too much of this stuff, it is calories. I get that, but I'm not spraying that much, so. 0 calorie avocado spray. Let this just warm up a bit. We'll go 1 egg and then 4 ounces of egg whites, which is half a cup. So while that heats up, guys, we're gonna get some egg whites out. 4 ounces right here. And don't gotta be perfect. Just pour it right over the top and you're chilling. And then we're going to eat these with 2 white corn tortillas. I'm running short on time, so this is a very basic breakfast. Super simple. Another thing I like to do is, if you ever look at the nutrition facts on salsa, it's very light. It's usually like 10 calories for a serving. And really all you need is just a tiny bit of salsa, and it flavors up the whole thing. So you could implement less than 10 calories. That's pretty much what I do. I just put a little bit in there for taste, and it's less than 10 calories for sure. I got this paste. I got these from Costco. So it's 10 calories for 2 tablespoons. You could literally put 1 tablespoon, 5 calories. It just flavors it up just a bit, just enough, you know? You don't gotta go crazy with it. These little mini cups, you get these from Costco as well. It's a mini cup of avocado, and they're 11 grams of fat per mini cup. These are actually kind of have a lot in it. So I only used half of it yesterday. So 5.5, 6 grams of fat, whatever. And then we're gonna use the rest of it today. Super easy. Instead of having to weigh out your avocado, which I do as well, but you know, when you're using avocado, a lot of times it goes bad. It's annoying. If anybody ever gets avocados, they know. You buy an avocado, you're taking a chance. So you get these mini cups, and they're good every time. We're just warming these corn tortillas up just enough. We're not toasting them or anything like that. We're just warming them up. They're fire, and they're very low calorie. So 2 of these is 21 carbs. Instead of having a piece of bread for around 21 carbs or whatever it is, you could get lower carb bread. Costco's got a version for 15 carbs each, but you eat 2 pieces of those bread, it's 30 carbs. You eat 2 tortillas, it's 21. Just little tweaks, minor tweaks. One thing that I was talking to my dad about, he showed me what tortillas he was eating. And then I looked at the back, and it was like, I think it was like close to 40, maybe even 45 grams of carbs per tortilla. And for somebody who's like not super aware or like seasoned in calculating macros or anything like that, you're gonna look at a tortilla and be like, how unhealthy could a tortilla be? It's just 1 tortilla. But there's differences. There's little tweaks that you can make. You can get those carb balanced tortillas. It's 19 grams of carbs per tortilla versus, granted his was bigger, but it's like a small tweak, and you know, you do what you gotta do when you're trying to hit your goals. It's a small tweak, and you subtract it by literally over 20 grams of carbs. So if you multiply that over a week span, he said he was eating a burrito every day. So we multiplied that over a week span. I was like, for a month, that's like 1,000 less calories on your month. Just minor tweaks. I don't know if that math is correct. I don't have time to do it, but that's what we came up with at the time. And just like minor tweaks, my point is minor tweaks can change the game for you. It's some things that you wouldn't necessarily be aware of because you think tortillas should be all similar. They, for the most part, are, but there are some that are like 45 carbs per tortilla. You know, instead of 45 carbs per tortilla, I'm getting 2 little small ones, but we got goals to hit. We don't gotta have everything that's like perfect, you know? It doesn't have to taste insanely good every time you're eating. You're trying to do something. You're trying to, you know, hit your goals. And this is just a quick breakfast because your boy ain't got time. I'm already all packed though, so which is good. And then this is what I was talking about with the salsa. You don't need much at all, literally. Don't even calculate it. That was probably 1 tablespoon. That's literally 5 calories, and that's all you even need. You don't even need more than that. Anyways, that's gonna be it for breakfast. I might also drink a shake. If I were to just eat this, it would be a very light breakfast for me, especially right now because I'm carb maxing. But I will probably, depending on what time it is, I don't even know what time it is. Yeah, I don't really have any time, so I'm gonna eat a shake other than this. I ate a shake yesterday. I'll do a half cup of oats in my shake, and just a scoop of protein, maybe some PB powder, maybe some blueberries or a banana, something like that. Make sure I'm getting all my carbs in, make sure I'm fueling my body with good fuel post-workout. You know, we're always trying to do good fuel, but especially after a workout, immediately fill your body up with good fuel. So, You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next clip.
So for that breakfast, by the way, you'd probably be wondering, like, you're bulking, why wouldn't you just eat like a higher carb tortilla? For me personally, I understand that logic, but for me personally, I have 222 carbs left to play with at the end of my day, and that excites me. So recently, maybe I'll switch it up to where it's like, okay, now I'm having to eat so many calories, you know, eventually I'll have to up them, and then maybe I'll be like, okay, I need to make my breakfast big, so I'll be getting tortillas that have more carbs in them. But for now, you know, I like to save all my carbs for the end of the day so I can just eat, because I like to binge. And maybe that's not a good thing, but it just is what it is. And I'm working with the way that I am. And I'm not saying like, this is how I do it, this is how I'm gonna do it forever. Nah, keep an open mind. I'm probably gonna switch it up. And eventually, you know, when this couple weeks is over, because I weighed 191 this morning, if that continues to look like my weight, you know, another week will go by, I'm gonna have to up the carbs, up the calories, and then eventually I'll start eating high carb tortillas, or, you know, my portions of rice are gonna be big throughout the day, instead of just like trying to save as many as I can for the end of the day.